Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. May you live long. Mr. Speaker, I think, as has been intimated by colleagues, we will all support the adoption of this report. However, Mr. Speaker, there are a number of fundamental issues that I think need to be addressed before this report requesting for about 5 billion for 2026 is approved. Mr. Speaker, in the budget, the Minister for Finance has submitted a report on the utilization of funds for 2025. And there are major discrepancies in the reporting on how those funds, especially under the big push, have been utilized. And Mr. Speaker, if it's possible, my prayer will be that we step this down and correct those discrepancies. They are very significant, running into billions of cedis. And when we are done with that, then we come to make a new allocation. I'm even of the view that the 5 billion is not enough, and it's important that we do a better allocation. But the foundation on which we are building this new allocation is problematic. Mr. Speaker, first of all, if you go to Appendix 3C of the 2025 budget, you will find that in the domestic capital expenditure allocation of about 7 billion Ghana cedis, there was no allocation as part of that for payment for the big push. In fact, the big push was set out separately from that 7 billion. If you come and look at the Appendix 2C in the 2026 budget, the numbers don't add up. And Mr. Speaker, if you give me just a bit of latitude, I want to draw the minister's attention.
This is the main budget you are referring.
Yes, I do have it here. And this is the foundation on which we are mounting this new application for the 5 billion. And that's why I think it should be corrected as a matter of urgency. First of all, in the 2026 budget, which reports on the 2025 allocation, the Ministry of Finance said that they had allocated 13 billion for the big push, 8.8 coming from ABFA and 4.8 from the mineral royalties. As at the end of September, they had programmed that they will spend 9.9 billion on the big push. The first challenge, Mr. Speaker, is that the report claims that they have spent 10 billion on the big push. Why that cannot be correct is that the big push was launched on the 16th of September. It cannot be possible that between the 16th of September and the end of September, as this report is saying, 10 billion cedis worth of certificates of some sort had been presented, processed, and paid within that 2-week period. Between when, no, this is a very serious matter. Let's not play with it. It's not about 24-hour economy. We are trying to correct the data. Let's take it seriously. Between the 16th of September and the end of September, Mr. Speaker, it is not possible that 10 billion cedis worth of construction work had been done, certificates issued and paid for. Mr. Speaker, if you go further, you will find that, as I mentioned earlier, in the original allocation of 7 billion, there was no provision for old contractors to be paid under the big push, if you check the Appendix 3C in the 2025. In this new budget, we are now being informed that 3.3 billion cedis of the 7 billion cedis that was supposed to be used for paying old contracts is going to be paid to old contractors under the big push. Again, Mr. Speaker, it becomes difficult to reconcile the two. But my last point that is most worrying, again, if you look at the data, Mr. Speaker, as at the end of September, the Ministry of Finance reports that they have paid 5.1 billion from the Minerals Royalties Fund under the big push. And then they project that by the end of December, they will collect 1 billion back from the contractors. It's not possible. Money that has been paid out, Minister, cannot be taken back from those contractors. So if you look at the Appendix 2C, it says that 5.1 as at the end of quarter 3, but what they will record at the end of the year is 4.9, Mr. Speaker. So if you look at the numbers that have been presented by the Ministry responsible for finance. It doesn't add up. Mr. Speaker, there's a suspicion that old contractors are being paid, but it is being captured as though they are being paid for the Big Push program. And that will be very deceptive to people, because people's understanding is that contracts are being given, certificates are being presented, and they are being paid for. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm of the view, respectfully, that before we approve this new 5 billion allocation, these are not small sums of money we are talking about. We should, as a matter of urgency, maybe stand this down and get these numbers corrected and aligned properly, so that when the new allocation is being done, we are sure that the reporting will align as well. I thank Mr. Speaker. This is my contribution to the report.
Minority Leader, let's hear you.
Mr. Speaker, I want to align with the views expressed by the respected member for Ofuasia Yebi. Mr. Speaker may recall that during the comments on this budget, the minority raised this serious issue of cut and paste budget. No effort has been made to address this. And day in, day out, our friends get exposed. We keep exposing them. The figures that the respected member for Ofuasia Yebi just put out, it appears this budget was never scrutinized. And we are being called upon, approve. If you say you've done some payment under Big Push, look at when the Big Push announcement was made, the period. And then you are allocating figures in excess of 7 billion, claiming that you have made some payments. You launch Big Push, you say you made payment to contractors under Big Push in less than a month. Mr. Speaker, this can be nothing less than a very lazily prepared budget. You just putting out the numbers. You don't do any due diligence. You come to this parliament, you didn't scrutinize. You mean you didn't read your own budget? We've told you time without number that your work, your governance, and its success will largely depend on the scrutiny that will come from this side. It's the reason why we always want you to be a bit more tolerant, because your 189 did not even spot this. You didn't spot it. Figures are just being bandied around. This is a time I expect you to rise on a point of order. Rise on a point of order, because these figures have become part of the records of this house. Mr. Speaker, that's it.